Hello, my name is Balint and I would like to show you today how easily you can create a WordPress child theme for your website. First, let's talk about what is a child theme. It is a special kind of WordPress theme which makes users possible to add modifications to a theme which they have downloaded to their WordPress website. From now on, we will call that original theme a parent theme. As the naming suggests, the child theme works in a way that it is extending or modifying some properties of the parent theme, for example, add some custom layouts or CSS styling modifications. I am sure you are asking why should I use a child theme when I can make modifications in the parent theme also. While this is completely true, I would like to warn you. Any modifications you are making to a theme sooner or later will be lost. This is so because WordPress simply does not have any way to distinguish your code, your additions and modifications from the parent theme's code. So when you are updating your theme or WordPress, and I hope you do update these on your site, so when you are updating, WordPress will overwrite your modifications with the files from the update. While this is bad for us, website owners, with frequent updates, we can make sure that our website is safe from hackers because these updates, besides improvements, often contain numerous security hole patches. So, if we want to make some design changes to our websites that stick, and we don't want to risk having security vulnerabilities, our best and really easy option is to create a child theme. The method you will see is valid for the 99% of the WordPress themes available on the internet. While there are some plugins that do not support child themes, these exact steps can be used to create a child theme of almost any parent theme. Okay, let's start. I am working on a Windows computer, but you can use whatever configuration you have. For creating a child theme, we will need FTP access to our hosting account if our site is on the web, and FTP software, and some sort of plain text editor. If you are developing your site locally on your computer, then you will need only some text editor. Today I will use CyberDuck as my FTP client, which is completely free and you can use it on Windows and Macintosh machines as well, but you don't have to stick with this. There are other really good FTP softwares like FileZilla on Windows and Transmit on Macintosh. Here is my website through FTP and I will navigate to my WordPress installations WP content directory. Inside that I will open the themes folder. Here are the themes currently installed on this WordPress site. I will create a child theme, for example the 2013, but you can choose any theme you want. The first step is to create a new folder or in other words directory inside the themes folder. Its name should be the parent theme -child, but actually you can use any name you want, just be sure that you remember which one is the child theme and what is its parent. So in my case it will be 2013 child. Okay. Our next step is to open our parent themes folder, so 2013. Inside here, we have to open the style.css file. Now I will download this file to my desktop and I will open it with my favorite code editor, Sublime Text. You can use any other software like Notepad++ or even good old Notepad on Windows and on Mac you can choose Text Wrangler or BBEdit or something else. The important thing to remember is that you will have to use some plain text editor software, which means you cannot use, for example, Microsoft Word or something like that, because they include some additional formatting and other data in the files edited with them, which is something that we don't want in this case. Okay, so here is the style.css file. On the beginning of these files, there are always some informations visible. These informations are needed by WordPress. They are always included in a CSS command block, which means it is between an opening / star sign and later on a closing * sign. So in my case, in 2013, here is the code that we are interested in. It contains the theme name, the URI, the author information, description of the theme, version, licensing, and some other information. For creating our child theme, we will need these informations, so I will copy this. Here I would like to note that different themes will most likely have different informations here. For the child theme to work, there is only one line of code required to work, which is the theme name. But my preference is to copy the whole block of the parent. The next step is to create a CSS file for our child theme, similar to this one. So I will create a new file inside our child themes folder. Its name will be also style.css. I will open this file also with my code editor. And I will paste the code block here. I will modify the theme name, which is really important, because if I leave it the same, then we cannot distinguish the parent theme from the child theme inside the WordPress settings page, because they will have the same name. So I will edit it to 2013 child. There is no need to edit the other infos, although you can if you want. I usually don't edit these, but there is one important thing to add here. This is the template row. I have to say that Sublime Text adds a semicolon here to the end of the line, but we don't need that, so I will delete it. You can see that none of the other rows have semicolons at their end. Okay, now we have to type in here our parent theme's name, but actually we won't write in this name, because this way it won't work. We have to write here the parent theme's folder's name, which is visible in our FTP software. In our case, this will be 2013, all lower caps. Okay, I hope that I don't have any typos here. And our last thing to do inside this file is to add the line which copies, or in other words imports, the CSS code from the parent theme's style.css file. It will be like this: at import URL / in our case 2013 / style.css. Of course, in your case, the 2013 will be different, so here will go your parent team's name. Okay, we are ready with this file now, and later on, when you want to add or modify some CSS of your theme, you will have to place it here, not inside the parent theme as you have maybe done until now. You have to place them here. This way they won't be affected by any update, but you can do that later. Okay, now I will save this file and I will upload it into my child themes folder inside wp content/themes folder. Okay, basically this is it. Our child theme is completely ready. We just have to activate it in order to see the modifications you will add later. I will go to my WordPress dashboard and go to Appearance and Themes. Here, if we have done everything right, we should see our child theme in the list of installed themes. Here it is. There is no screenshot image appearing, but you should not be concerned about that. I will show you how to do it in a moment, but it is not necessary. Our child theme will work just fine without that also. So I will activate the theme. Remember, we have to activate it if we want to actually see our modifications. Because it is a child theme, it needs the parent theme in order to work. If you delete the parent theme, it will break your child. As it says here, like every child, it needs its parent. Okay, now if we check our site, we should see absolutely no change at all. And this is completely okay because we did not made any modifications yet. As I have said, if you want to add some custom CSS rules to your site, you should put it here in the child themes style.css file. You don't have to copy any original CSS code from the parent theme. You just type in here what is different from the parent style.css and what is new CSS code. Remember this, and I think this is the most important thing to know about how child themes work. Anything that you do not specify in the child theme, WordPress will use the setting from the parent theme. All those things that you specify here, for example, if you say that you want the font color red, it will override the related settings in the parent. So you will not have to say, for example, I want a 12 pixel normal weight Helvetica font if you just want to change the font color. You will just say, for example, body color and the hexadecimal value for it. I will save it and refresh our page. And as you can see, the font color have changed, but everything else have remained the same. Lastly, I have promised you that I will show you how to make the screenshot of our child theme appear. I will go into my FTP software and open our parent themes folder. Here we can find a screenshot.png image. For simplicity, I will not create a new screenshot. I will copy this with downloading it to my computer and upload it into our child themes folder. Okay, if I refresh the page inside our WordPress dashboard, as you can see, the screenshot appears. So if you create your child theme and make some pretty things to it, you just make a screenshot, save it as an image with the name screenshot and preferably the .png, and upload it to your themes folder. WordPress will automatically show it from here. I hope this guide helped you understand how a child theme works and how to create one for your site. If you have any other questions or you need any assistance, you can find me on my website through Facebook, Skype, or you can eventually bump into me in the WordPress support forums. This is Balint and I wish you happy designing. Goodbye.